So rather than having a small cottage where they would have been getting 2,000 kwacha, they decided to house a few students, and they're now getting 6,000.
Wow.
That's 3 times what they would have gotten if they had just left it as a cottage.
Awesome.
Yeah, so now imagine if you do that at a commercial level, the kind of returns that you'll be getting.
So now we've spoken about medical, we've spoken about students' accommodation. These are all hot opportunities or markets that actually there would be investors who would want to get into. Any other?
I think also what we should also talk about, Natasha, is tourism.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think about it?
Because what we're seeing, again,
Sure.
the tourism industry was really hard hit by COVID. Yeah. And, we know that the world stopped traveling because of COVID. But now we're starting to see those numbers creep up again.
That's true.
International arrivals, has gone up. In the last 2 years. We've also seen the average room occupancy in the country has gone up. We have our traditional ceremonies, and we find that those are becoming more and more popular. We're even getting international visitors coming to those events. We recently had Komboka.
Yeah.
And
can I make mention so that we're not biased? We're looking forward for our Kusefia Pang as the Bemba people. It'll be awesome. We look forward for it.
You're now tribal cousins with the Longsies. Yeah, so all of these things mean that there's tourism opportunities in real estate.
Sure.
And also, I was in Livingston just the other weekend, and it still gets completely booked out when we're having our AGM. And this time, our lawyers' AGM was, it coincided with, I think, an event that the army was doing.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I think there were a number of events that took place.
And remember, they had Mossy Thunderfest or something. Yes. So you can, I think people are now even having to stay in Zimbabwe.
Oh, yeah.
So the opportunities in tourism are there. And I just also want to mention, Gus, actually, that the World Bank is giving a soft loan of $100 million into the tourism sector in Zambia. And one of the things that that project is meant to do is meant to diversify tourism products that we offer. Because we all know Victoria Falls, Chiumya, but this project is meant to encourage different types of tourism.
Sure.
Yeah, avi-tourism, which is bird watching.
Ah.
I didn't know that.
Oh my God.
Eco-tourism, cultural tourism, sports tourism, all of these things need people to participate and places for them to stay. Yes.
If I can make a statement, if the tourism board doesn't have an ambassador, you already have him.
So, and then also, government is always trying to get international conferences to be held in Zambia. And Zambia Tourism Agency needs to make sure that they are at these events, because I know 1 or 2 events, there hasn't been anyone there.
Oh.
So we have international visitors that say, what can I do after the conference ends? Is there somewhere I can go for a day, 2 days, and enjoy myself, get to know more about Zambia? So those opportunities, I think, are still there.
Awesome. Okay. Students, accommodation, medical investments. We've spoken about tourism. Would you speak into fully furnished apartments or Airbnb as well?
Yeah, I think so. We're seeing a lot of interest from our clients in the diaspora who want to go into Airbnb because, they're in the diaspora, they're abroad. So what do they do with their home during the time when they're not here? So Airbnb is a great option for them. It's also great even for our local investors because you know that the returns that you get from short stay are much better than a long-term tenant. And also what we're seeing is that because of the increase in visitors, as I mentioned when talking about tourism, you find that we are getting more visitors and they also want somewhere to stay. Not everybody wants to be in a hotel. Some people want to be in a self-catering unit. So I think Airbnb is really providing a great platform. And then there are also other platforms like booking.com. That can really help people boost the revenue that they're getting from their properties. But I think think also, I just want to point out that it's not just about placing a property on Airbnb. You have to be active.
Sure.
You have to give great service.
true.
You know, it is a business.
Yeah. Because actually, that one thrives on the recommendation, the referrals.
Exactly.
Customer reviews.
Yes. So you have to be actually quite active in order to get that business that you want from those platforms. So I think that's also good. And then lastly, the last area that I want to talk about is agriculture.
Awesome.
So there are still lots of opportunities in agriculture because we've seen that due to the Ukraine-Russia war, there's a global demand for food. Yes. Now, unfortunately, as we know, we are experiencing a drought.
Yes.
So the agricultural sector was really like popping, but now that there's the drought, of course, that situation has to be reassessed. But what I'm seeing now is introducing farming methods that are able to be more resilient to climate change. Because that's what the issue is, I think, for us and our neighboring countries is climate change.
So we've actually touched quite a number of opportunities that investors could look at. That is medical, students' accommodation, tourism, Airbnb, which is fully furnished apartments or fully serviced apartments. We spoke on agriculture as well. That's an opportunity that is actually ripe right now. In summary, what did you say to the audience?
In summary, what I would say is that there are great opportunities in real estate. For me, I focus on the residential market. And I still see a lot of opportunity in the residential market, especially for those that want to be property owners, because a lot of people still can't afford to buy a house. So if you can buy a house, I always encourage people, buy a house, put it on rent, let it appreciate in value, get the capital appreciation, use that to release equity and buy your next house. It's not something that can be done overnight. It's not something that can be done in a year or two. But like I say, property is a long-term game. And people always need shelter. They always need a place to stay. So the opportunities are there. It's about finding where you want your niche to be in the real estate sector.
Awesome. That has been insightful. Maybe next time when we get a chance, we can talk about other sectors like property flipping. Where you buy a property, do a bit of it, and then sell it at a higher price. That would be also, it is actually a ripe opportunity, or should I say sector, that a number of people are actually going into. It has been a pleasure speaking with you. You are vested with so much wisdom and knowledge. I've been your host, Ngo Sankandu, and this has been the 10th episode of the Real Estate Podcast. I've been chatting with Natasha Chiumya, who is the director and CEO of the Diaspora Connect. We'll be able to actually put the links below this video so that you can actually get in touch with them. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you.